Annoo and welcome back to my channel. I'm so glad you joined me today, and today I have a crochet tutorial for you. I haven't had one in a long time, so I'm very excited. I don't know if you are aware of, but in January we welcomed a new grandchild, a new granddaughter. Her name is Madelyn Eva, and I had the urge of making her a little blanket, not something cumbersome. I wanted to create something that her parents could just, grab and with them undergo something that wasn't too cumbersome and practical, and that he could either put in the car or in the stroller or on the seat. So I made a really pretty granny square. I made 30 of them for the size that I wanted. You do as many. If you make 100 granny square, you're gonna have a big blanket, but for me it was a row of 5 and 6 rows, 5 granny squares, 6 rows of it for me was the right size. And I decided I wanted to share it with you, take you slowly but surely, one step at a time, like in old times. I'm a little rusty, but bear with me. So here is the blanket. I really like it. It was made with cotton merino from Juniper Moon. I'll put all the information about the yarn and the tools that I use, the crochet hook, etc. in the info box down below. Look how pretty that is. Can you see? Oh, I really like it. This yarn almost feels like it has more hair in it, but it doesn't. It's just cotton and merino and cotton and wool. I made a little flower with bubbles, and that's the center of your granny, and then you crochet around and around to create the square. I'll show you exactly how to, and it kind of creates that X of flowers with the double crochet in the middle. So you can do it. It's not hard at all. And then I'll show you very quickly how to assemble your grannies together and how to make the border. There will be more details soon in a PDF once it is published, so stay posted on my Unruly Ravelry page, where you can find, by the way, most of my crochet patterns for free, neatly in PDFs, and a few of my new knitting pattern, because now that I'm knitting as well, I'm enjoying to create knitting pattern too, and they are all free for you in my Ravelry page. I'm very busy with the store, so I have less time to design patterns, but I'm very excited to offer you this one. So first the granny square, and then with that you can do whatever you want. Maybe if I have time, will show you how to make a tank top with that same granny square. It's such a versatile square. So if you are interested in knowing how to create the Madelyn on the go blanket, then keep on watching, grab your yarn, your crochet hook, and let's hang out together and create this blanket together. In the meantime, happy crochet, and see you next time. Bye! So for this blanket I used a crochet hook 6mm, but again I will put all the info about all the tools you will need in the info box down below. Take your crochet hook and make a magic circle. You're going to chain 1, and inside that magic circle you're going to make bubbles. You are at your first round. That will be the center of your granny. For my bubble, I yarn over and pass the crochet hook inside my magic circle and back a total of 4 times. Here I am showing you how I make a bubble slowly, so you can pause, fast forward, or whatever you want. The more you go through that magic circle, yarn over and back, the more times you do that, the bigger your bubble will be. I did it 4 times, then I pass my crochet hook through all the loop and secure it with a chain 1. 1 bubble made. 3 more to go. Here you go. Here I have 3 bubbles, one more. And you are done with your first round. Pull on the end yarn to close the magic circle. You can make a knot if you want to secure it. I will do it probably at the end. Then you're going to close that first round, slip stitch on top of the first bubble you had made. Officially done with round 1. Let's do round 2. For round 2, you're going to begin by slip stitching in between the 2 bubbles from the first round, bubble 1 and bubble 2. And you're just going to begin to make a bubble in between that space, in between bubble 1 and bubble 2 from round 1, make a bubble. Secure your bubble with a chain 1 and make a second chain. Then in that same space, you're going to make another bubble. Again, between bubble 1 and bubble 2 from round 1. Create your second bubble. Secure it with a chain 1. Now you're going to go between the second and the third bubble from round 1 and make a bubble. Secure it with a chain 1, chain an extra 1. And in that same space again, make your second bubble. Secure it with chain 1. And now you're going to go in between your third and fourth bubble from round 1, and in that middle space make 2 bubbles separated by a chain 2. And lastly, to finish your round 2, you're going to make 2 bubbles in between the bubble number 4 and bubble number 1 from round 1. Now you're going to finish round 2 by slip stitching on top of the first bubble from round 2. You're done with round 2. Now for round 3. In the space between the first and the second bobble from the previous round, you are going to make 2 bobbles separated by a chain 2. Between bubble 1 and bubble 2 from round 2. Now in the next space between bubbles 2 and bubble 3 from round 2, you're going to make a double crochet. And then you're going to chain 1, and in between the 2 next bubbles from the previous round, you are going to make 2 bubbles separated by a chain 2. In the next chain space between the next 2 bubbles, make a double crochet. Chain 1, and again in the next space in between the next 2 bubbles, make 2 bubbles separated by a chain 2. In the next chain space, make a double crochet. Chain 1, and in the next chain space in between the 2 next bubbles, make 2 bubbles separated by a chain 2 again. So we just created 4 corners. The corners are made of 2 bubbles separated by a chain 2. This is your last corner. You are done with your 4th corner. You're going to, in the next chain space, make a double crochet, chain 1, and slip stitch at the top of the first bubble you had done at the beginning of your 3rd round. Here you go, done with the 3rd round. Do you see how we have a square now with 4 corners? How cute is that? So cute. All right, now for round 4. You're going to slip stitch in the first chain 2, which is one of your corners, the first corner, and you're going to make 2 bubbles separated by a chain 2 in that first corner of round 4. In the space between the next bubble and double crochet from the previous row, you're going to make a double crochet and then chain 1, then go to the next chain space in between the double crochet and the bubble from the previous round and make a second double crochet. Chain 1, and in the next corner make, in between those 2 bubbles from the second corner of the previous round, make 2 bubbles separated by a chain 2. So this round will be 2 double crochet, a corner, 2 double crochet, a corner, 2 double crochet, a corner. So your corners of 2 bubbles chain 2 will be separated by 2 double crochets all around. So finish the second bubble of your first corner of round 4. And you're going to make a double crochet in the first space there between the bubble and the double crochet from the previous round. Chain 1, go to the next chain space in between the double crochet and the bubble from the previous round and make a double crochet. That's your second double crochet in between those corners. Chain 1, and go to the next corner and make 2 double crochets, chain 2 and 2 double make a bubble, chain 2 and a bubble. So 2 bubbles in the next corner. Bubble, chain 2, bubble. And repeat again, making a double crochet in the next space, chain 1, double crochet in the next space, chain 1, and 2 bubbles in the next corner. End this fourth round by making a double crochet in the next space, chain 1, and another double crochet. chain 1, slip stitch on top of the first bubble from round 4, and you are done with round 4. For round 5, look how cute. What do you think? I think it looks gorgeous. Really like it. I like the texture of it. I really like the yarn I use for that. That cotton merino from Juniper Moon. Super cute. It has a little halo that I really like. So you have those corners separated by 2 double crochet right now. And we're going to continue and make the same thing. So make 2 bubbles in each and every one of those corners, and this time for round 5 the corners will be separated by 3 double crochets. Let me show you. So we begin by making the first corner, 2 bubbles separated by a chain 2. Lovely. And then now we're going to have 3 double crochets leading us to the next corner. So in each and every space, 1 double crochet, chain 1, go to the next space, 2nd double crochet, chain 1, go to the next space, and that's your 3rd double crochet, chain 1, and to the 2nd corner. And what do we do in the 2nd corner? 2 bubbles separated by a chain 2. And this is what you're going to repeat all around your round 5, and I will meet you at the end of your round 5. here you go, and this is how your granny square will look like. It's gorgeous. We will make many more, as many as the size of the blanket you want to. For me, I wanted to make a small on-the-go stroller car blanket, but of course sky is the limit and you do you. I'm going to grab my scissors and cut my yarn, and here are all the granny squares that I chose to make. I chose those 3 beautiful colors, and then I organized them in front of me to see how, what kind of sequence or pattern I wanted. As you can see, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, and I have 30. So I have 30 granny squares for the size blanket that I wanted. Once I was done with my 30 granny squares, I blocked them. So I took some gentle wool wash. In my case, it was Eucalan, but you can take whatever is available to you at your local store. I put my, it was actually not Eucalan, it was soap. I had a little sample that was given to me. I put some lukewarm water in a bowl, a little bit of that soap soak, and I blocked all of my granny squares. Let them sit in that lukewarm water for about, I would say, half an hour. So after half an hour, I squeezed all the water out of the little granny squares, and I put them in a towel, squeeze the excess water out of the towel gently, and then I put them to block on my blocking little stand. Again, you can find those on Amazon. I highly recommend getting one so you can actually block your squares to each the same size. This is what a blocking granny square thingy will look like. It's a board with holes and pegs, and you see, so you decide how wide and how much you want to stretch your square, and then you're going to take each and every one of them, put them one on top of another, leaving a little bit of space for them to breathe, and let them dry, and they will all be the same exact size when they dry, and when you assemble them it will be neat and nice. Oh, the skies just open up. Alright, so I'm going to quickly show you how I assemble my grannies together. There are so many options and amazing tutorials on YouTube about how to assemble. I like to assemble mine a certain way. I like to have a ridge like that sticking out. I love that. To me, I don't want my seam to be invisible. I want it to stand out. So I'll show you how I do, and then you can, go and do exactly the same or do another options. another option. So you put, the way I like to do it, I put the blanket right side facing me, and I match stitch to stitch. It should be easy because they are exactly the same squares, they are exactly the same size. So you begin with your crochet hook, but I'm going to just grab a stitch from anywhere in the middle, and then so I take the part of the V that is further away from you from the first side, and then the part of the V that is closer to you from the other. Let me show you from, if I can zoom in. All right, so here, let's begin at the corner. That's better. So you know you have 2 chains in between your bubbles. Pick the second chain of one and the second chain of the other. Pass your crochet hook through both of them and just join your yarn. I did it with the white yarn. You can choose any color you want. I chained one to secure it to the corner. Then I'm going to go to the next chain, pass my crochet hook through that chain, through that stitch. Do you see the stitch, the V? I'm going to the back loop of that V, and then the opposite, the second square, I'm going to the part of the loop that is the closest to me, and then I slip stitch through it. Again, I'm going through the part of the V of the granny that is closest to me, right here. That part of the V is the further away from me. Come on, I know you can do it. And then the part of the V of the granny that is further away from me is the part of the V that is the closest, if that makes any sense. Then I pass my crochet hook, my yarn, through both of the stitches, making a slip stitch through both of them. One part of the V closer to me, one part of the other V of the granny further away from me. Yarn over through both of the loops, and voila. And that is what I'm going to do, and I'm going to do it horizontally and then vertically, and that's it. And that is how I assemble my blanket. I'm going to continue to show you some footage of me doing it, and then I'll show you how to do the border. Alright, another day, another background. The lighting is a little off, but you can see that everything is assembled, and you can see that little ridge there. I love it so much. It is so cute. I love those 3 colors together. Love everything about it. I love that X that it makes with the baubles. Yeah. Very pleased with it. Alright, now I'm going to show you how I do the last detail, which is the border all around my blanket. Make sure that the right side of your work is facing you. Grab your blanket at any corner. To me, it's the right corner. And pass your crochet hook through that corner. Stitch and attach your yarn through it. You can either pass it through the stitch or just around the stitch of the in the corner, whatever you choose. Once I have secured it with a chain, I can begin my border. And I'm going to make a single crochet in each and every stitch around the border. So the important thing here is to have the same amount of stitches throughout all your grannies. So let's say you pick 10 stitches or 12 stitches in your first granny, make sure you pick 12 stitches in the second. To me it was about 2 stitches, so 1 stitch on the double crochet, 1 stitch in the chain in between the double crochet and the bobble, another stitch on top of the bobble. That's about the ratio of the stitches I picked up around my blanket. I'm really rusty with the filming and the crocheting with the camera in between my legs. It's not easy. Be consistent, that's what I mean. So, you know, in between those 2 grannies, when you switch from one granny to the next, decide, are you going to pick up a stitch in that ridge? And if so, do that all throughout, all around that first round when you pick up stitches all around your blanket. So you're going to do that, repeat this, picking up single crochets all around until you are back to where you started. What I want to do is a little kind of pocket border. So I'm going to have one border going around, all around my blanket. And then I'm going to have the other side, and then I'll join both of them, creating a reversible kind of border. So for the second round, so you're done with that first round. And for the second round, you're going to single crochet again, but this time you're going to only pick up the front part of the stitch. So you know how you have a V and you have the front part of the V and the back part of the V in that little stitch. Okay guys, and this is where I realized I lost the footage of the tutorial for the border. So I will redirect you to my Field of Flower blanket that I had published a while ago and which has the same border. So I will put the link to the exact place where you can find the tutorial for the border and write down in the information box down below, and as well as on the right side of this screen you can just click and it will take you there, and voila. My apologies, but it's the exact same thing. I hope you have enjoyed this beautiful tutorial as much as I have enjoyed creating it for you. I hope to see you soon on my channel, on my Instagram, on my Ravelry. I love you guys. Happy crocheting and tata for now. Bye.